So in this lab, till 5 experiments we done. Sixth one is write our program the CSV file, and also we have to find the statistical summary, and we have to remove outliers from the data. So basically, different type of file formats we have. So we can import any kind of data into the R platform. Any kind of data. You take an image file, or you may take a video file or audio file or CSV file. CSV file is nothing but it is a table. But whatever the values are there, that values is comma separated. So here CSV means comma separated value. This is nothing but comma separated value. So the comma separated value. Suppose you are giving 2, 3, 4. Again 5, 6, 7. So this kind of data is represented in the form of table like 2, 3, 4. Then next row is 5, 6, 7. And then next row like that. So this comma separated values we are seeing in the form of table. So this kind of data we are calling as CSV file. So not only comma separated, some are like tab space with tab separated values like 2. Some tab space is taken again 3, then tab space is taken again 4. So this also one kind of table. So which is nothing but it is tab separated values. Again it will be same 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But here we are taking comma separated table, tab space or some other notation separated values like that. So at the end we are seeing the data in terms of rows and columns. This in this experiment 6 we are doing like we are dealing with the CSV files. So we import CSV file to the R platform or R console. After importing the data, we have to see the that respective data statistical summary. So once after seeing the statistical summary, we have to detect the outliers, and we have to outlier treatment. So first step is we have to identify the outliers. Then uh, outliers will affect on the problem, so we remove the outliers. As I told you in the previous classes, what is outlier? Like outlier, suppose you take any data. Okay, you take any data. So we divide that the data into first step is we have to arrange the data in the ascending order. Then we have to find the splits. Like suppose this is my data is like this. So in this data, I will take first to 25%, then another split at 50%, then another split at 75%. So this is nothing but a quartile. Quartile is nothing but is one fourth ratio of the total data. Okay, if suppose if the data points is like 1 to 100 numbers is given, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. We have 100 numbers. So in this 100 numbers, the 25th percentage, like 25th part is nothing but value of 25 is nothing but your quartile one. So first 25% we are taking as a first quarter. Then again up to from 1 to 50%, nothing but a median. 50% is nothing but a median. Median is nothing but middlemost value of the given data. So that median also we are calling as a second quartile here. So that is means 1/4. It is nothing but you are splitting that data into 4 equal parts. First part we are calling first part boundaries we are taking as quarter one, that is first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. So 75% means another 25%. So this is your Q2 and this is your Q3. Q4 will be the 100%. So why these are nothing but quartiles. So quartile is nothing but it is a 1/4 ratio of the given data. So if you are taking first 1/4, we call it as quartile one. If you are taking 2 quartiles, that means Q2 is nothing but first 50% of the data we call it as quartile 2, and first 75% we call it as third quartile. So basically, why we are studying, I already said this example so many times. So imagine that there are 5 students and they got placement. Like the salaries are like 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 11 lakhs. So these are the package of that A, B, C, D, E students. Okay, so this is the packages they got. Something around something like 10 point some 6 or 7 lakhs is average salary for this of this 5 guys. Okay, unfortunately, what happened? There is another guy who joined into this section, and his salary. This is in terms of lakhs. Okay, suppose there is one guy who joined in that class where he got 10 crores package. Assume that this is the guy who is disturbing all these five points. Like the guy who got 10 crores package, if I involve with him and if I get average salary, then the salary is going around like, something which is not about 10.6, is something like some 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs. It is the entire data is disturbing because of this guy, and whatever the analysis I do or whatever the predictions I do, that goes wrong because of this person, because he is the outlier. In simple words, we can say, we use it to say like odd man out, right? So this is the guy who is odd man out of all these points. Like out of the 6 guys, this F person is odd man. So we have to remove that person. Otherwise, that person will disturb entire the data and analysis of whatever we are doing. So that is the reason we have to remove this kind of data. So this is to remove this one, we use outlier treatment. Okay. So to get the outliers, first we have to find the quartiles, like what for 50 and 50% and 50 and 75%. So then after we have to calculate ICR, IQR. IQR means interquartile range. Interquartile range is nothing but, what is the range of interquartile is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. That is nothing but 75% whatever the data is there. That point minus 25% of the data. So that the difference between Q3 and Q1 is called IQR, that is interquartile range. So after getting interquartile range, we have to find the lower boundary and upper boundary. So lower boundary is nothing but Q1 minus 1.5 times of IQR, and Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR. So these are the range. So within this range, whatever the data is there, this is accepted. Out of this range, whatever the data is there, not accepted. Okay. So this is the guys, like within this scale, if we have the data, so within this, like Q1 minus 1.5 times of IQR and Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR. Within this range, we accept the data. So even if the guys lies between this interval, that will not disturb your analysis or whatever the things we are doing, that will not disturb the problem. If the guy is outside of the range means it is, even if it is more than Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR, if the value is more than this, these guys will be troublemakers. Like before, Q1 minus 1.5 times of IQR was also troublemaker. So we have to remove this guy. So this is the standard procedure we used to get. This is how we are going to identify the IQRs, like interquartile. First we will calculate what is the quartiles, and then IQR, then lower boundary and upper boundary. Then we filter the data. We remove the outliers, like out of this range, whatever the data is there, we remove that and we'll back to the program. Okay. So to get this one, we use box plot. So box plot will help us to find the outliers. So box plot will be like this. Either you can take it to work vertically or horizontally, that's up to you. So this is nothing but, this is what we are calling as the box plot. So this is nothing but this first line indicating the Q1, first quartile, and the second line is indicating the median value, that is second quartile, and this is the third line is representing the third quartile. Okay, and this is the lower limit and this is the upper limit. So out of these points, if any data is existed, these are we are calling as the outliers. This is outlier and this is outlier. So now our aim is to detect these outliers, and we have to remove these outliers, and we have to keep this data only for analysis. Within this lower limit and maximum limit, whatever we have, within this data only we have to keep, and we have to do the predictions or analysis. So that is why we are using box plot here. Box plot will help us to see the visual, see how outliers are detected and where it is there, like that. It is help us to get it. So, so after this class or after this session, I will give you some sample data set so that you can use. So this is R. Okay. So this is, we can start from the beginning. So it's opening R Studio. And here already I stored the data. So in the college folder, there is one data, housing name file was there. And this is the comma separated, tab separated, everything will be opened in Excel itself. Okay. So this is the data. So this is the price. This is about the prediction of house pricing. So price is the one variable, and area and how many bedrooms are there, how many bathrooms, how many stores of building, main road is available or not, guest room is there or not, basement is available or not, hot water getting or not, air conditioning is there or not, parking available or not, prefer area, I don't know, that is some kind of area is available or not, furnished or not. So these are the specifications. Based on these specifications, they are fixing. I mean, suppose if you take the first record, so this will be the problem which will continue until linear regression, like in task 9. So write a R program for modeling cross-sectional data with multiple linear regression. So to do the multiple regression also, we use the same table. So this program will be continued for the next 3 tasks, like 6th task, and plotting is also seventh task and 9th task. So all these 3 tasks we deal with this data only. Okay. So here these variables, like so with the help of these variables, like area, bedrooms, bathrooms, stores, and all these variables, based on these specifications, we are predicting the price. So if I take you take one particular record, so where the area is something like 7,120 SFT or something, and in that house there is 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and 3-store building, and it is main road is available. All these parameters, based on that, this price was declared for this first house. Similarly, for the second house, it is about 8,960 square feet or something, and number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and based on this parameter, this price was there. So this is the historical data. So based on this, if I give you some random specifications, so for example, the client will ask you, so what is your requirement? How much square feet you are looking for? So I'm looking for 5,000 square feet. And how many bedrooms you want? I want 3 bedrooms. How many toilets? 3. How many stores are building? 2 stores are building. Main road should be there or not? Yes, I want main road. And guest room should be there or not? Yes, I want guest room. Hot water? Yes. Air condition? Yes. So these are the parameters he will give you. He will give. I mean, this is a new record and this is your requirement you are posting. So with respect of that, it will post some price. Okay, we are going to predict this price based on your requirement. So to do the prediction, we need historical data. So this is the historical data. Using this historical data, we build one model. After building a model, we give inputs to this builded model. So that building model, whatever we built model, this will take as an input and that will generate the output. Means new prediction, means that will predict your price of the house based on your requirement. So this is the entire step. So this is what actually happens in the industry. They take the data, historical data, not like this hundreds or thousands. They take the data in terms of crores. So they take the data. So 5 standard steps: importing data, means taking data from databases, websites, or like this kind of files and all. Then they clean the data. Cleaning means everything, like if any null values are there, if data is not available and the records are not proper and not shaped, properly. Here you can see the data is represented very neat way. Sometimes some columns will be overlapped or some rows will be overlapped. All those things. That is what we are calling as the clean missing value treatment. So if any missing values are there, we have to treat them also. Outlier treatments and all those things are the comes under the second statement. Second step. Third step is nothing but data splitting. So what we do means in this data, 70% of the data I will use for training the model, and 30% data I will use for testing. So in this one, if I have 100 records, I will take 70 records to build the model. I will take the 70 records as the historical data, and I will build the model. And whether this model is correct or wrong, I can use another 30 records and I will predict the data. So that I have the 100 records. Out of these 30 records, outcomes also I have there. I have, I have similarly uh, here another 30 outcomes I am getting. See, simple. Suppose if I have 100 records, out of that 70 records I am giving for training. I use this data and I will build a model. Okay, even I have this 30 records, but I will keep this as secret. Okay, only here I have the price also, but I will ignore this row and I will skip this row, and remaining outputs, like remaining features like these features, area, bedrooms and all. These features I will give as an input for this trained model. I builded one model, right? So for that model, I will remove the output. I'll just store this output somewhere and I will remove this output, and uh, the remaining column names or remaining features I will give as an input to this trained model. So that it will generate for each record, it will generate one prediction value. Suppose if I given this input, suppose this is the input I give. So this model will generate some price. Suppose some 85 lakhs, 87 lakhs, or it is generating something. Okay. I have the actual value and this is the predicted value. I can find the difference. Like I can find the how much it is, the accuracy was there. What is the error? Based on that error, I can find how much accuracy this model is working. Like that I can do. Okay. So training and splitting is fourth step, and testing, finding accuracy matrices is nothing but fifth step. So after that, it will go for the production or deployment. So that is the standard step. As of now, this is the data I am going to import in the RStudio. This is my RStudio. So once after getting into this, there is one command. So I am storing the data basically in terms of file. So here I'm taking data. So I am storing my housing data, fetch data, house data. This is my file name. So in this file name, I'm storing the CSV file name. Whatever the data I am importing, that data I am saving in with the variable name called house data. Okay. For this one, we have to write the code like read dot CSV. That is nothing but comma separated. Open the parenthesis and write file. So here we have to maintain the file path. So to get the file path, where is the path? Where is the file is there? You just go there and you can copy the path. So here in C drive users, in that user again on the desktop in the college folder data housing CSV file was there. So this is the path of the file. So I just copy it and I'm going back to our console and I'm pasting here. So this is my path of the file. So in the local system, where is the file that I am copying here? So the path I was mentioning. So here one thing, in Windows 10, in the Windows 8 and above versions, you will get the forward slash. Instead, you will have to take backward slash to modify. Otherwise, you will get an error. Just press enter so that the data. Okay. So just change the things. Okay. So that's it. So now the data is stored here. So now data is stored. It's this path over the file path is given. This file is file information is stored in this housing underscore data. So let's underscore data. That's it. Okay. Maybe that is the console. Again, I'm taking from the beginning step. So here I'm taking importing the data. So my file name is how the data, housing data, which is the read what kind of data you want to do. That is CSV file, so CSV, read.csv, and I have to mention the file path. File parameters you have to mention file path. So this is my file path, my local machine. Local, it was stored in this path, and instead of so you can use this forward slash. What will happen in this? You are going to get an error. So instead, what we have to do, we have to take the reverse slash. Then an error. So that you can see here, environment is empty. So as of now, here this environment is empty. Nothing was there. So once if I press enter, I'm going to get that file name. So you can see once I click on enter, here the data was. So this is the data imported into our console. Okay, even here also you can see that house data. Press enter. So it is showing. So this is the data is. This is the outcome. So here I was entered the command house underscore data. This is the output I'm getting. Means the data is imported to our console. Then after we will see some basic things. So if I want to know what is the dimensions of the data, like how many rows are there, how many columns are there. So for that we use one command called dim. Dimensions of what file? File name is house underscore data. So that will give us how many rows and how many columns are there. So there is 545 rows and 13 columns are there in this data file. In this CSV file, we have 545 records with 13 columns. If I want to see the header file, like head of the file, like first 5 records I want to see, so that I can use one command called head. Head means first 5 rows of the data, first 5 rows of the file. So head underscore file house underscore data. So that will give us first 5 rows of the data. First 6 is given. Okay. So first is 5 to 6 rows if you want to see. So here price, area, bedrooms, bathroom, stores. And this is the first. Even if you can see the last bottom of the bottom 5-6 rows of the data also. Then we have to use instead of head, we have to use tail of the file. File name is house underscore data. So you can see here. So in the beginning, here serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. But when it is come to tails, we have 545 rows, right? So from the bottom, it is 540, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Last records it is shown. So this is one thing. Just you want to see how many rows and how many columns and what are the. Even you just want to know what are the column names itself. I don't want to all this information. I just want to see how many columns are there and what are the column names. Even though that also you can get it. So just we call one function is called names. Names. What names you want? Names is nothing but column names. Okay. So what names you want? So for which file names you want? So we have to enter file name or underscore data. So these are the column names. First column is price, second column is price, second column is area, third column is bedrooms, like that. These are the column names you have. Okay. And even if you want to, sir, not only beginning and not only ending, I just want to see few records from the beginning. Which record you want to see? That particular record also we can see. So if you want to see that particular record, you just mention data, not data. Our file name is house underscore data. In this one, which one you want to see? So C of mention that number. Suppose if I want to see 50th row and 100th row and 150 and 200 to 250. I just want to see these records. 50th row record and 100th record and 53rd record and 202 records. I just want to see these records. So these are the row numbers. Here I was mentioned row numbers. Comma, you just keep empty. Empty means all the columns. So for that 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 rows, I want all the column information. Just press enter, which will provide you that particular data. So here we have to take square bracket. For any subset of data, we have to use a square bracket. So you can see here 50th row, price, area, and bedrooms there. So you can see the first row. This is representing the serial number of the record. 50th record, 100 record, 150, 200, 250. For these records, all the information I am getting. So in whatever the particular rows you want to see, even that also possible. Okay. Even we can calculate mean median for the given data. So if I want to see, I just want to know what is the average price of this 545 records. So just use the function called mean. Mean of which one you want? Mean for which data? So my data name, file name is house underscore data. House underscore data. For which one you want to calculate? Which variable? Either you want to find mean for price or area. I just want to calculate area mean. So here, whatever the area column is there, there are 545 records. All the 545 records average area of this entire file. So just I take house dollar area. That means in the house file, I am taking particular area column. For that, I want mean. That's it. So that is going to provide the mean. Similarly, you can use it for another variables also. I just want to know price average. So that is the average price. I just want to know how many average bedrooms or bathrooms are. So it is completely case sensitive. Whatever the column names is mentioned in the table, that the same name we have to use here. Otherwise, you are going to get the error. So bath rooms. So this will generate. So 1.2 averagely 1.2 bathrooms. So this is the main. All these things will be possible for numerical data. So we can calculate mean, median, for also middlemost value. House underscore data of. I just want to calculate middlemost value of the area. So that will give you 4,600 is the middlemost value for area column. Even I calculate for price also. Median for house underscore data dollar price. So price column median value. So that will be the 43 lakhs 40,000 is the middlemost value for the price. Even we calculate mode also. So all these things, mode of which data house data is underscore data dollar bedrooms. It is giving class of the data, whether it is numerical or data. As of now, any doubts how to import the data and how to see mean, median, and how to see head of the tail, what is the dimensions of the table, what are the head rows of the data, tail rows of the data, particular rows of the data. Any doubts still? Importing
No,
data,
sir.
start studying all these things. So once after doing all these things, now we'll see particular column. We take one particular column and we'll find out whether we have outliers on that particular column or not. So if we have the outliers, then we can use that technique to remove the outliers. So to do that, first we see the statistical summary of the given table. So to see the statistical summary, we use summary. Summary is the function, inbuilt function. So summary of which one you want. So I just want to see entire summary, entire data summary. Then I can use total when I want to use total summary. When I want to calculate total summary, I just use file. So total summary of house data. So that will give us the total. So you can see the price here. So with respect of the price, so if you see this one, this is the statistical summary of the price. So the minimum price is 17 lakhs and first quartile is 4 lakhs 30,000. It is median is 43 lakhs 40,000. Mean is also 47 lakhs 66,000 and 799, and third quartile value, maximum value, minimum, maximum, first to second to third quartiles and mean values. This is the data because it is a numerical value, so that we are getting these things. Even area is also numerical, so we are getting numerical values. Bedrooms is also numerical, 1, 2, 3. It was mentioned like that. Bathrooms also numerical. Stores also numerical. But when it is come to characteristics, main road, yes or no? So it is mentioned like it is a character. So it is not possible to get mean, median, quartiles and all. Again, parking, how many parks, either one car or two cars. For that also we have the data. So for this also we got the values. Where the character is existed, it is showing like it is character. So this is the statistical summary we can see. So we'll do one thing. We'll take one column. Let us take the area column and we'll find out whether outliers is existed or not. Okay. So to get that, first we have to plot the. Before that, we have to check whether is there any null values are there. There are. If any null values are there, that will be disturb the data. So I just want to check out is there any data is missing or not. To check the data is missing or not, we have one function called sum. Sum means add all the null values. I just want to see how many null values are there. All those count I want. So sum of is NA. Is NA means is NA is available. NA means not available data. Null values. Okay. Is NA of which one? House underscore data. In this file, is there any not available data is there? Is there any null values is there? Then you calculate all the null values and tell me that sum. How many values are there? So this is going to give the total count. So 0. That means there is no null values in the data. All the records, 545 records with respect of 13 column, all the data is there. With no data is missing. So it is correct. Okay. Now, next I am taking, I just want to see outliers of particular column. So I just want to see area wise, like is there any outliers is existed or not. To detect that outliers, I will use box plotting. So to do the box plot of which one you want, house underscore data, not for the entire data. I just want to calculate box plot for which data, area. So I just take area. So house data file lo area column యొక్క box plot. That's it. So here you can see right side we got graph here. So this is the plotting. So as I told you, so in this direction, this bottom line is nothing but your quartile 1, this middle line is nothing but your quartile 2, and this above line we are calling as for the box, it is quartile 3, and this is the upper limit and this is the lower limit. Before lower limit whatever the points and upper limit whatever the points are there, this is what we are calling as outliers. So these are the data is disturbing our analysis, so we have to remove this outliers. Okay, so outliers is existed for this data. How we got this one? Using the box plot. So particular column area, for area column we calculated, we generated box plot. In the box plot we see in these dots. So these are nothing but, these dots are nothing but these are the records from the data, and this records is out of the range, out of the quartile range. So these are nothing but outliers, so we have to remove these outliers. So just save this. I will do one thing. I'll take this. This I'm saying as before, because after removing that we have to know now. So before outliers treatment it will be like this. Now I came to know, okay, there is outliers is existed in the column called area. Now I want to find the statistical summary of that particular column. So summary of house underscore data of particular column called area. So area column, particular area column statistical summary I want. So this is what I'm getting. The summary of house data under dollar area. So the minimum value. So from this statistical summary, I can find the minimum value. So minimum is equals to 1650. And what will be the maximum value? We have 16,200. And what is the Q1? Quartile 1? First quartile. So that is 3600. And what will be the median? Median is nothing but second quartile. So second quartile is 4600. And what is the third quartile? Q3 is equals to 6360. Okay, this is the data I got, and even you have the mean also. Even I don't bother. Mean is equals to 5151. So this is the statistical summary I got from the area record. Okay, I just remove these things. I just save this backup purpose. Next step, we know the quartile values and we know the minimum and maximum values. So using these quartile values, we have to calculate the interquartile range. So to get the interquartile range, what I am doing, house, I'm taking here one variable called house underscore area, I underscore IQR. That means housing area interquartile range. So that is my variable. For my understanding purpose, I'm taking house area IQR, means interquartile range for the area from the house file. So what is the interquartile range? We know that it is Q3 minus Q1. What is the Q3 value here? Q3 is nothing but 6360. You can see here. I wrote it here. So the third quartile range. So even if we have minus, and what is the Q1 value? 3600. So the difference between these two things we are calling as the interquartile range, and that value I'm storing in the variable called house area underscore IQR. So I got that one. You can see here that interquartile range variables got this one 2760. So even if you don't see there, we can use here also. We can find the use the value house underscore area underscore IQR. What will be the value inside it was stored? So that is 2760. So that is the interquartile range. So what is the limits, upper limit and lower limit we have to find now? So for that I am using lower limit area lower limit I'm calculating. So what is the formula we have? Is I was mentioned no? The notebook. So what is the lower limit here? Q1 minus 1.5 times of IQR. Q1 is nothing but quartile 1 minus 1.5 times of IQR. So this is the lower limit. So now I am calculating that. So Q1 value, what is the Q1 here? Q1 is 3600. So 3600 minus 1.5 times of, what is the value? Interquartile range. What is the interquartile range? That is house underscore area underscore IQR. So interquartile 5.5 times of IQR, we are subtracting from Q1. So that value I'm storing as the lower limit of the area. So that's it. So here I can see lower underscore limit of area. So what is the lower limit? Minus 540 is the lower limit. And what will be the upper limit? So we can calculate that also. So upper limit area, upper limit for the area, that is Q3 plus 1.5 times of. So Q3 is nothing but 6360. From the statistical summary, we came to know that area third quartile value is 6360. And what is the formula I was mentioned here? 1. Q3. So you can see here, this is one. Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR. Okay, so Q3 plus 1.5 times of IQR. IQR is nothing but house area interquartile range. So this is my upper limit. And what is the limit here I'm getting? Upper underscore limit underscore area. So upper limit is 10,500. So less than minus 540 and greater than 10,500, we treat it like a outliers. Okay, and we have to remove those outliers. So what is the condition? So I am taking new I'm taking it as new house data. My another file name is called new house data. That means after removing the outliers, whatever the new data set is there, that I am storing in the variable called new underscore house underscore data. So how I can filter the data? How I can remove that part and remaining I can store here. So for that, we have a function called subset. So just it is like a subset of the given set. So same way, here we are taking the subset. Subset of what you want. I just want the values less than. I just want to the values. I just want to remove the data from which file from house underscore data from this table. I just want the values. Like I just want to remove. So my range, my value should be 1.5 times like lower limit less than or equals to values is less than or equals to upper limit. So I take the values like lower underscore limit underscore area. Instead, if you feel like it is uncomfortable, just you can take that value. What is the lower limit area? That is minus 140, minus 540. So minus 540 less than values you want to remove, and more than that only you want it. So that one we can do here. So lower limit area, your value should be greater than this lower limit. So greater than which one you want, which variable you want. So you can take like this. My house underscore data in that particular area column should be greater than minus 540. So these records I want, more than 540 records I want. And also I want and less than 10,500 data also I want. So the values should be between minus 540 and 10,500 is acceptable. Apart from that, we treat it like a outlier. So I just want greater than 540 and less than 1050. So house underscore data. In that data, I am taking area column. So area should be less than 1500. So here you can see this expression once again. I am out of entire records. I am taking one subset. That subset is nothing but it should be less than 540 and greater than, means I am taking the values. This is my x is nothing but without outliers the data. So this is the range. So I'm calculating these things now. So this x values I'm calculating. X is nothing but which is between minus 540 and 1500. So now my new house data is created. So new underscore house underscore data. Let's check that. So this is the data. Now let me check whether what is the dimensions of this data. New underscore house underscore data. Check out now. It is 530 and 13. You can scroll up and you can see now what was the actual dimensions of the data. So here, so I just imported, then after we checked out the dimensions of the data, right? So what is the beginning dimensions? It is 545 and so you can see here. So in the beginning, after importing the data, we checked out the dimensions is 540 and 13. That is nothing but 545 rows and 13 columns are there. But now, after removing outliers from the area column, the data is 530 comma 13. That means there is 15 outliers existed in the area column. That 15 outliers is record. I mean that entire records will be deleted. That 15 outliers records whatever we have from the area with respect of the area, that entire records is removed. So we left out with 530 records with 13 columns. Okay. Even if you want to plot again, you can plot and you can see whether that outliers is existed or not. Okay. So to get that one, again use box plot of what one, which one you want to see. So new house data in this one area. So for this data, I'm plotting. Check out now. There is no outliers. So, but before it was outliers are there. Even I'm showing the previous one also. It was not coming. So before you can see that there are few bubbles above the line. Now we don't have. Even this bubble is on the line on the edge, so that it is showing. Otherwise, it is also not going to show. So like if you take in greater than or equal, then it will be ignored. Otherwise, so this is the data which is there is no outliers. Okay. So this is how we treat outliers. Means finding outliers and removing outliers is the procedure. Like this we have to do for other columns also. We have to do price column, we have to do bedrooms, like whatever the numerical columns are there. For all those things we have to find the outliers and we have to remove those outliers. So this is the procedure. And, any doubts, like so this entire thing just be Any doubts? This is our task 4. So we have to import the data. We have to take the statistical summary. So statistical summary is nothing but like summary is nothing but what is the how many rows are there, how many columns are there, like what are the column names we have, what is the statistical summary. This is all about the summary of the data. After that, detection of outliers and removing the outliers. So this is our task 6, program 6. Any doubts from this program? So I'll just copy this entire content and I'll keep it in one notebook. So where arrow mark is appeared, that is nothing but your command line. If arrow, it's, so here if the arrow mark is available before that arrow greater than sign is available means that is nothing but your command line. So here these are the command lines and this will be the output. Where arrow mark is not available, then that is called output of the above command. Okay, suppose if you take this one, dimension of house underscore data. So this is the output we got, and this is the command I entered, and this is the output I got, and this is the command I entered, and this is the output. Like that, you keep it in mind. And I'm sharing this file with you. So from this, you can take it. Uh, and everyone keep it